basketball. What was it like coming in here this spring, straight out of high school, jumping in, having to learn a whole new playbook, and also diving right into a quarterback competition? What was this all like for you?
Of course, when I first started, I had a little bit of nerves. So I was a little bit nervous, but Coach Hedden, he's a great coach. Coach T, they guided me a lot coming in. So Coach Sark, of course, he's a great coach. So just with the guidance to them, it was a lot easier.
Coming from a program like Sarah, obviously, and being a 3-year starter, they're big program where you obviously had to compete day in and day out. You think that prepared you a lot better than maybe some other athletes who come in here?
Oh yeah, Coach Altenberg preached us every day, just competition. So every time we broke, we said competition. So competition is always on our mind. The game, practice every day. That's all we knew was to compete.
What's been like one of the biggest hurdles for you so far? The biggest challenges for you?
I don't know what to say right now, but probably just the transition, I guess. The transition from high school on early on. I struggled a bit when I first came, but I'm rolling now. I picked it up. Coach has been guiding me.
Did it surprise you any that you were struggling at the start?
I kind of knew I was gonna look like a freshman out on the field. So that's the one thing I didn't want to do, is look too much like a freshman. But it comes with the job. So
you were a 3-year starter, so you used to being the guy, and now you're third in line. What was that like?
It was tough at first, but the same thing as my freshman year at Sarah. I sat behind, kind of pressing the starter. So and the next year I had to go in and compete just like I have to do now. So it was different. It was hard at first, but I got used to it.
Are you able to look at that with a good attitude? There's a lot I can learn, there's a lot I can do as I'm watching and learning from Cody and Max, or how are you approaching that?
I've learned a lot from Cody and Max, sitting in the film room and just being with them outside the film and on the field. I learned a lot from both of them, so it's helped.
Did you come in here with the mindset of wanting to compete for the job, or did you come in here with the mindset of just trying to get adjusted?
Most definitely. I want to compete, on the highest level. That's why I came here to compete. And, I definitely want to get adjusted, but the competition level didn't leave at all.
How beneficial was it just to come in early like you did? Can you imagine coming in the fall like some of these guys and just jumping on the field for fall camp? How beneficial do you think it was to come in early and get a whole spring under your belt like this?
It was tremendously beneficial. With the offense we have and as much as we put in each day, I'm completely glad I came here early here, especially at USC. So it's a lot to pick up, and I picked up the gist of it so far, and I just got to keep learning.
We've heard from guys all spring who've been here for a couple years how out of shape they felt or how tired they've been with the up-tempo system. How was it coming from high school and adjusting to that?
I felt pretty in shape when I first came. I did a lot coming in because coming to USC, I expected that. Exactly what I ran into, that we had to come high intensity, top level talent, and that's what we have here, and that's what I had to come into.
You ran a pretty high intensity offense at Sarah. So was it that big of a difference other than the quality?
It wasn't too big of a difference. Pretty much the same thing I'm doing here. I did 3 years ago, for 3 straight years. So.
Have you been around Sarkisian enough to compare him with Altenberg personality-wise and just the way they deal with things?
Not really, but one thing, Coach Sark does jump around a lot more than Coach Altenberg. But they're both great guys. I love playing. Hopefully, I can't wait to get playing for Coach Sark. And I love playing for Coach Altenberg. They're really good coaches.
You said run more. You mean on the field or themselves?
Just the way they act. Coach Altenberg, they're both up-tempo coaches, but just the way Coach Sark runs around the field.
How about just the overall adjustment of coming to college, being in college classes, being on campus? What's that been like for you?
It was overwhelming when I first came in, but I'm halfway through. Not halfway. I'm almost done with my semester, so
Is it weird to have your friends getting ready for prom or whatever is happening at the end of high school and you being here already?
Yeah, it is. I get texts from them all the time telling me what they're doing. They're wondering. They're trying to check up on me, see what I'm doing. But it is pretty weird to see me here and they back home.
Are you going back for the prom?
Yeah.
You got a date already?
Yeah, I do.
How many classes are you taking?
Right now I have 4.
How many units each one?
16. Oh, 4 each unit, 4 each class.
What are the classes?
I have History 100, EPT, Comm 383, and Writing 120.
Which is the hardest?
They're all pretty. They're all pretty the same. They're all pretty difficult. They're all the same level.
What's the hardest thing to do coming in and being a quarterback, early entry kid?
Well, first thing I struggled with was time management. Just knowing where I had to be, knowing meetings and waking up early. But I caught the gist of it once I came in.
How about on the field?
It's a lot faster. It's a lot faster than the high school level. I feel I'm getting there. I'm catching up to the speed, but I just have to keep progressing each practice.
What's the hardest thing for you right now playing quarterback? Not counting not getting to play.
Probably just, focusing in, just making sure I get all my mental reps, because I didn't have to do that much back when I was, the guy at Sarah. So, just focusing in, learning as much as I can from the coaches and the guys in front of me.
What's the most fun for you so far?
Just being here, getting to compete each day, learning from Coach Holden, Coach Sark. Getting the best coaching in the country that I'll get. So just keep taking in as much information as I can.
Has this been overwhelming at all for you? Maybe initially, or how have you kind of handled?
Yeah, when I first came in, Coach Sark and Coach Holden have guided me a lot, and I've learned a lot from Cody and Mike. So it was overwhelming when I first started.
What's been the most difficult part of the transition?